What the hell is going on in California? That's all I want to know. Okay, what is going on everywhere? Seems like the U.S. has turned into Baghdad, in places like Chicago especially. I heard they had, what, 500 murders or something just this year, and it's only October. This is insane. But what I'm pissed off about, of course, the mental health advocate in me, is murders by policemen and policewomen, murders of mentally ill people. So I want to talk to you today real quick about two cases that's going on right now, just a few days apart. First, we have this Ugandan man, and I'm going to warn you, the first thing that you'll probably see in any of the headlines is illegal immigrant. They always want to harp on that. Doesn't matter. This man had a mental illness. He called the cops for help, and now he's dead. So Alfred Olango, he's in El Cajon, however you pronounce it, California, a little town outside of San Diego. His sister said he was in the middle of a psychotic break, and I've tried to explain that in a couple different videos. You're detached from reality. You're not really aware of yourself or surroundings. You are behaving erratically. Whatever you do or say at that point can't really be explained. You're combative. You're agitated. You got a whole bunch of different things going on, and mentally you've checked out. So his sister said that he was having a psychotic break and called the police for it. She called the police for help because, and you know, people always wonder, well, why do you call the cops instead of calling the ambulance? A lot of times it's to help restrain a person because they just get this superhuman strength and they may or may not hurt themselves or someone else. So, you know, people call the cops to say, hey, help my family member, you know, restrain them. Can you take them to the hospital or something like that? And we know a lot of these cops are just piss poor trained and really do not know how to address the people with mental illnesses. So Alfred, the call was placed saying that he had a mental breakdown and if somebody could come and help him. And he was erratic. He was kind of weaving in and out of traffic. He wasn't following any kind of instructions. Some reports say that cops started shooting once he put his hands in his pants. And you don't know if he was going to pull out his member, if he was going to pull out a gun or whatever. So granted, the cops could be nervous. Other reports say that he cupped his hands like this and made like a shooting motion with his hands. And at that point, the cop shot him. Then what we're seeing in a cell phone video is he had a vaping device. I never heard of that before, but apparently something that's used to smoke with. Smokers may know what that is. He had a vaping device that was silver, and that's what he had in his hand pointing at the cop. And the cop was very, very close to him at point blank range. But my question is, if you're that close, whether you can tell a person has something in their hands or not something in their hands, can't you fire a warning shot? I mean, because that's going to be a pretty close body shot. And why do you have to shoot him 5 times? It seems like we have this situation where one cop decides to pull a trigger and then they don't give a command or talk to any of their officers beforehand who's going to do what in what order. To me, it would make more sense if somebody says, okay, I'm going to approach him, or whatever their lingo is, you know, I'm going to approach him, I'm going to shoot first. If I need you all, then you can, you know, come firing behind me. That might not seem realistic, but somewhere along those lines, you know, cops have to communicate better and assess the situation better. The point is, they know he was having a mental breakdown. Granted, they have to think about their own lives and their own safety and everything, but why did you have to shoot the man 5 times? That's not what I don't understand. So, anti-Black Lives Matter people, and, you know, NRA and a whole bunch of other people say if you take a stance like this in front of an officer, you will get shot. Yeah, but I'm just wondering, is there some type of way, some type of different procedure that couldn't be followed for those in a mental health crisis? Because his sister had already said he was having a breakdown. You know, he needed help. And it just didn't register with them, or they just did not know how to treat this case differently. And it's really unfortunate because now you have another man, another black man, who's gunned down by police, who, granted, was provoking and everything, but for a different reason. It would be a difference if they got there and they didn't know he was having a breakdown of some sort. But they knew this, and they knew that the man was erratic. They knew that he wasn't following commands, that his sister wasn't talking to him, wasn't getting through to him. Something different could have been done. And I'm wondering if at that point where the officer felt like his life was threatened, the one who initiated the kill shot, if he could see what was in his hand was not a gun. Maybe if at that point a tase could have happened since he was so close, conversation of some sort, maybe he could have tackled the man, something. But I guess in his mind, he's trained that, okay, if it looks like a gun, it is a gun. I'm not taking any chances. Here's the thing that NRA is saying. Recently, Alfred's best friend passed away. So they're saying that this was a, cop by suicide killing, and he wanted someone to take his life. I don't know. I would say that if his best friend recently passed away, that could have caused a break. But that doesn't mean, okay, my best friend's dead, I'm going to go put myself in a position to get shot. Then we have in Pasadena, this just, 4 days ago or something like that, the man, his name hasn't been released. This is the father of 8 with another baby on the way. He called cops himself because he needed to be transported. He wanted help. This man had bipolar disorder. He couldn't calm down. I don't know if he was or wasn't on his meds. He was wielding a knife and a fire extinguisher. Here's the thing though, even after he dropped the fire extinguisher and was arrested, cops continued to kick him and beat him with the baton. And that's how he died. So you have 2 mentally ill black men. Both were in need of help, both killed by police officers, and in both cases, especially the one in Pasadena, what the hell is going on in California? In both cases, it could have been approached and dealt with differently. We have this national program called CIT, and I'll do a whole video on crisis intervention team training. Hopefully I can get the CIT coordinator from Durham, I live in Chapel Hill, from Durham County to come over and do a video with me. And it's a curriculum, a 40-hour week curriculum that teaches officers and other first responders about mental illness, how to deal with these mental health crisis calls, how to de-escalate a situation. A part of it is reducing officer injury. I mean, just all kinds of good stuff. And it does cost money. It takes a lot of resources. But what would you rather pay for this program or millions and millions of dollars in a lawsuit? This is what I'm not understanding. People are calling for help, not to be killed. So check out this story here and see how many different versions of it you can get about Alfred Olango in El Cajon, California. And I did go on El Cajon PD's website, on their Twitter page, and leave my 2 cents. And then in Pasadena about a bipolar man who was killed by police. That's my 2 cents for today. I'm pissed off. Let's have a moment of silence. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to holler at y'all in the next video. Wellness wishes. Rest in peace, guys.